Hello guys, Henry here. I've wanted to put together a quick video off the cuff just to show how I go about decimating high poly models. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I'm a member of a few Patreons and tribes and things, and sometimes you come across models that seem to have, seem to be a little bit larger than they need to be for what they are. In this case, I've got some heads that I've just downloaded from a Patreon that I'm a very big fan of. I love his work, but the one critique that I would be so bold as to venture would be that the models are a little bit big for what they need to be file size wise. Here highlighted, I have a head that I've decimated, and I'm going to show you how to do that today against one of the originals. This head on the left was originally 180 megabytes, but I've reduced it to 39, I think. I'll double check that in a sec. And this is one of the originals here. So if I select this head, press tab, you can see it's very vertex heavy, while our decimated version here looks like this. Much more efficient on the wings because these are flat sided, and so don't really need that many faces. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling. I'll show you how I did this. So let's select this head number 2. First thing we're going to do with it selected is we're going to click this blue wrench, add modifier, type in decimate. Then I'm going to move my mouse over Decimate and press Shift D to duplicate this modifier. Now what we have here by default is collapse at a ratio. So this is collapsing the overall face count, which you can see here. It's 3,912,643. It's collapsing it by a ratio. The simplest way to think about it is you're reducing the size of the model by an approximate percentage. So 0.2, I'm roughly reducing the model to about 20%. Or at least that's how I think about it. I'd be lying if I said I entirely understand all the tech going on behind this. I've just typed 0.2 and pressed enter. This is going to take a while with high poly meshes like this. But it has to do a lot of calculations. There are more efficient ways to go about this, but I'm just showing you this first of all to show how it all works. So we have to wait for that. That's done. And when it's finished, we can click apply, or you can just move your mouse over it and press Control A to apply it. And that will, again, take some time to apply. As I understand it, Blender's like showing you a preview initially that has to do all the maths behind the scenes to do. And then when you say, oh, apply it, it has to do all that again. I'm not a coder. I don't know if there's a more efficient way they could approach that, but it does mean you have to wait a long time. Right. Now that's done, we can click, we can already see that we've gone down from 3,900,000 vertices to 782,528. We can reduce that further. If we click planar, that's a second mode of decimation. By the way, the reason I picked 0.2 collapse is just because offhand, I know that works well for this particular creator. You can experiment, start with high numbers and go down and down and down, visibly checking the model. Right, what we have here now is planar decimation. What this does is we set an angle limit, and any faces that are less than the specified angle limit, as in the angle is, would the word be shallower than 5 degrees, it's flattening. That's a bit too much. What I do, being really conservative, is I put 0.1. And this way it's only flattening any face that is shallower than 0.1 degrees, which basically just means only flat faces. So we haven't got a huge drop. We've lost 100,000 extra vertices. If you wanted, you could try 0.5. That's reduced it still further. And to be honest, hasn't really made a huge difference. Okay, no, I'll try 0.5. Apply that. And there we go. The bunny ears are now nice and flat all over. To export this, select your STL, click File, Export, STL. This is number 2, so I'm going to overwrite that. Click number 2. Make sure selection only here is ticked. By default, it isn't. And click Export. And that's that. Thing is, though, you're going to want to be able to do this a little faster. You don't do it all individually. 2 ways to do that. I'll show you 2 methods now. One that I used to use as a sort of just a workaround is I spawn in a cube, and I put my decimation characteristics that I want. And then you can select all the heads, shift left click the cube to make it the active selection, press Control L and click copy modifiers. And that means that you're not having to wait around quite so long, but it's still quite a long time. And you still have to apply the modifiers once they're on there. So it's a two-step process, whereas a one-step process we can do if we select all of these. Open up scripting. Look at the models here in the viewport. Click New. And I've got this script, which I actually got from ChatGPT. I'm not ashamed to admit it. We've got our collapse modifier and a planar modifier. It's exactly what we were doing before, except we're automating the process. The difference is we'll want to change this to 0.2, because that's what I did. And the angle limit here, it's at 1. Let's change it to 0.5. And then if I click play, it will take a long time, possibly like 5 minutes, but it will do everything. So you can go away, make a tea, come back. A use case for this would be, let's say, like me, you've just downloaded a Patreon release and you have a whole folder full of downloads that you just want to decimate. Import them all in Blender, run this script, go away for 10 minutes, whatever, and then come back and export them all. So I'm going to click play now. I'll edit around this because it'll be waiting a while, but the last thing I'll say is a quick disclaimer. There are probably better ways to do decimation. I know MeshLab is one people use. I'm literally just using Blender because it's what I'm comfortable with. It's the only program I use on a day-to-day basis, like for my job, so it's where I'm comfortable. If you're watching this video, hopefully it's because you're likewise comfortable with Blender. Otherwise, yeah, suggest in the comments or whatever if there's an easier way to do this. Just doing what I do. Right. Okay, the script is just finished, and when that happens, you can just click Layout, come right back to the screen, and now we're ready just to export them all. A little tip, I've actually got my export STL function hotkeyed to Control E, and apply modifiers as well. I have as Alt X, but we don't need that right now. But if you click a model, you can go File, Export STL. This is number 8, so if I overwrite helmet number 8, 171 megabytes, that goes. I'm going to use my hotkey now, Control E for helmet 3. Number 8 was 170 something, was it? Now it's 31 megabytes. Helmet 3, 188. Helmet 4, oh sorry, helmet 5, wait. 4's up there, yeah. Sorry, helmet 5, 102 megabytes. Helmet 4, okay, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm a bit sick if you can't tell, sorry. 214 megabytes on helmet 6. And helmet 1, 214. So, yeah, we've reduced roughly 200 megabyte helmets, well, 180 to 200 megabyte range to a 19 to 39 megabyte range. And hopefully these still are good enough to stick on a 28mm print. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, but that's that. I just thought it's a useful skill to have. In the end, it took about 5 minutes to apply the modifiers, so if you do like a full download with like a gigabyte's worth, be prepared to go take a little walk or something. You know, don't do this if you're in a hurry, but it's nice to have. It's good for your hard drive. In my case, I keep all my downloaded STLs on my Dropbox, and I'm near the storage limit, so every time I download something, I look at how big it is, and if it looks a little bit large, I have to run it through this process. Anyway, take care, and have a good one, guys.